All across the country, decorative concrete driveways, pool decks, and walkways are replacing gray slab concrete. Colored concrete adds visual appeal and increased dollar value to your concrete installations. Solomon Colors and Brickform are nationwide leaders in supplying the concrete industry with coloring and stamping supplies. Solomon Colors and Brickform provide instructional literature and technical support for all facets of the decorative concrete industry, including masonry and pavers. The Colors for Ready-Mix Concrete chart shows a wide variety of integral color ranging from 1% to 4% loadings. Solomon Colors Integral Color is available dry in 25-pound bags and in pre-dispersed liquid that is placed directly in the truck at the ready-mix plant using the Solomon Colors Color Select Pro system. The Brickform division of Solomon Colors supplies the decorative concrete industry with a wide variety of decorative products, including color hardener, antique color release, and texturing tools that are now available in exclusive new patterns. After the color has been added, mix for 10 minutes at high speed. A walking or rolling jitterbug can be used when pouring a low slump concrete or if your concrete is exceptionally rocky. Rolling across and back one time will set the aggregate under the surface. This can be helpful during the stamping process. When you're finished with the jitterbug, bull float and edge the concrete. When broom finishing, clean the broom with a margin trowel or wood stake between passes. Avoid washing the broom between passes. This can add unwanted water to the surface. If you're using a power trowel, work cold joints and around obstacles by hand to prevent burr marks. Steps and retaining walls usually need footings for stability. Forms should be well braced, but set so they can be easily removed. Spray all forms with commercial-grade form oil. This will retain moisture where the concrete touches the wood and makes it easier to rub out imperfections on the face of the form. Finish all exposed horizontal surfaces while you're waiting for the concrete to harden. Then start taking off braces, making sure to stack them away from the work area. When the concrete is hard enough, remove one form at a time and rub the faces. The concrete will dry too quickly if you remove all the forms at once. After all surfaces are finished, apply the release agent and begin stamping. Use a texture skin to stamp vertical surfaces and for touching up. Rotate the skin to keep from repeating the pattern. If a whole stamp is too big, you may want to cut it to use in repetitive areas such as stamping steps or up against walls. Imprinting a pattern 1/8 to 1/2 inch deep from the first stamp to the last takes teamwork and training. This is not a job for you and your brother-in-law. A crew of 4 to 6 experienced people is recommended for accomplishing a decorative concrete project. On hot or windy days, apply Brickform Evaporation Retarder to extend workability and finishing time. After bull floating, work the edges with an edger and hand float. Don't use a finish trowel on the edges until the final finish. This could seal the surface prematurely and cause inconsistent stamping. Defects on the surface will be even more visible after the sealer is applied. Finishing the concrete by hand ensures a flat, consistent finish. One of the most common questions is, how do I know when to start stamping? If the concrete supports finishers on knee boards, it will support the stamp and installer. The surface of the concrete may develop a crust. Break the crust with a bull float, Fresno, or hand finishing to reduce surface checking. The finisher should work from edge to edge. Once the finisher starts, allow about 10 minutes before starting to stamp. With over 175 patterns to choose from, Brickform manufactures more concrete texturing tools than anyone else in the world. Each tool is made from high-quality polyurethane that is flexible and tear-resistant. Brickform tools are designed to reduce pattern lines, and the handles are strategically placed to give the installer balance and maneuverability. Brickform Antique Release is an engineered bond breaker that prevents the tools from sticking to the concrete and is used to antique the stamped surface by introducing another color. Brickform Antique Release is available in 42 standard colors. Multiple colors of release will give your finished project a more natural look. The trick is to know how much of each color to use. When you're using multiple colors, the color you want to see least should be applied first. Then add larger handfuls of the primary color to cover the slab. To apply antique release by hand, take a medium handful and coddle it in your hand. Keep it loose, don't squeeze it. Throw the release like you would skip a rock. Use just enough to cover the concrete. Apply the release just ahead of the stamping process. Colored release settles during shipping. Always stir the bucket before applying. Before the concrete is poured, make sure you have stamps, texture skins, and touch-up tools at the starting point. Place the plate tamper about 3/4 of the way down the slab. You should be that far along before you need it. You need enough stamps to cover the narrowest dimension, plus one more to start a new row. From a reference point, start the first row of stamps. Checking the reference point to see that it's running parallel. Make sure the stamps interlock tightly. At least 2 people are needed in the stamping field. The setter sets the stamps, checks for accuracy, and throws release agent a row ahead. The second person picks up the stamps, checks for a quality impression, and hands the stamps to the setter. If the impression is not uniform, the stamp can be put back in place and tamped again. As the job proceeds, you'll need someone to fill in along a wall or the edges with a texture skin and a touch-up tool. It's best to dedicate one person to this job because it's time-consuming and very detail-oriented. The details are often the difference between a good job and a great job. If an extra stamp is available, use it to fill in the end of a row so the 2 workers in the stamping field don't have to stop. If more people are on the job, they will be valuable near the end, when the concrete is firmer and a tamper is needed to set the stamps. You may need to tamp harder along edges. Don't beat on the stamps. This can chip the concrete. When the stamping is complete, make sure you detail all the edges. This step is critical to making the stone look authentic. Remove the release agent 24 to 72 hours after the concrete has been stamped. Depending on climate and temperature in your area, a 1500 psi pressure washer works best. Start by removing the excess. This provides a window that shows you the color of the concrete. A soft push broom can also be used while scrubbing with water. Release agent is not only a highlight color. Remember, it is an engineered bond breaker. Make sure that all excess release is removed in order to prevent the sealer application from delaminating. This may affect the performance of your sealer. Sealing decorative concrete with a Brickform sealer is an important part of the process. This will leave a beautiful finish that enhances all the colors when it is applied in multiple thin coats. We hope we've opened your eyes to a creative new avenue for your business. All Solomon colors and Brickform products are available in your area. Call us for the supplier nearest you.